Good morning. Hope everybody had a great weekend. And a great Christmas and had time with your family. Glad to be back this morning. Getting ready for the last week of December. The new year will be on us quickly. So let's just give it a second. It is early. It's just now 5:47, so we will give everybody a second to grab their coffee. Good morning, Lloyd. How you doing, buddy? Yeah. Wind blow the hair right off your head, see? Yeah. Lloyd, it's the wind's blowing between 20 and 30 is what they said, with gusts up to 40, 45 miles an hour this morning. I thought it might feel actually colder. It feels cold outside, but it's because of the north wind, because the temp's only about 45 degrees this morning, somewhere in that range. They say north of town it's gotten down out in the country to about 36. But I guess we'll see, how that goes. All right, so got the mics on. Anyway, I hope you had a good Christmas. Charlotte Wilkers just joined over here on TikTok. Good morning. DA joined. A Biggs just joined. Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me this morning for Morning Coffee Talk with Dave. Appreciate it. Hope you got your coffee and brought some conversation. Had a great Christmas. If you are new here, let me know where you're from. Don't forget to like, share, and follow. And I'll do the same at the end, providing you're not a bot. And I don't think any of you are, but you never know. So yeah, we're just kind of giving it a second here, letting everybody kind of wake up, grab their coffee. We've got Lloyd over here streaming on YouTube with us. Aaron G, good morning. Good morning, everybody. So, everybody wake up this morning. Stretch that neck. Get ready. Tap on the screen. Make sure the likes work. If you want to join the fan club, send me one of the little heart me emojis, and that automatically adds you. Hark of Finance just joined. Thanks for joining us this morning. Like I said, if you're here new, make sure you let me know where you're from, what state you're from. Last week we had people from Australia and India, Wyoming, you name it. We had them. Oh, hey, Alexandria Gomez over here on YouTube. What's up? Leah, good morning. Thank you for the likes. SYR 1944. Buenos dias, senor. Patan, hey, good morning. Figueroa, good morning. It's 3 a.m. in the U.S. Good morning. Randall Alexander, all the way from Kentucky. Hey, good morning, Randall. How you doing, buddy? Everybody's waking up here. Hey, just to let everybody know, thank you for the follow, Randall. I'll do the same at the end of the live. Hey, real quick, just want to let everybody know that starting next week on January the 5th, that we are pushing up the show. So the show won't start until 6 a.m. 6 a.m. starting on January the 5th. And I'll send out a short video to remind everybody. So this week we're going to continue starting at 5:45. because this is the last week that I have a job, and starting next week, this is going to become my job in retirement, and we're going to see how it goes and see where I can take it for the next few months, and just go from there. So if you want to help me build this family and organization here, like I said, we don't really sell anything on the lives. We're just here to get our day started and talk about current events, the weather, religion sometimes. I mean, the conversation's wide open. So if you ever have anything you like to talk about, as long as it is appropriate, we'll talk about it. We do some trivia shows where we have trivia. I'm working on something now. I don't know how many of you have ever seen or remember the show Name That Tune. We're going to do some music trivia, and I'm going to call it Name That Tune. And we're going to see how many music lovers we have. So I was working on it yesterday. I have about 100 songs so far, but I want to get a whole lot more than that. And I think that will be something fun. So real quick, let me go over the weather forecast for Monday, December the 29th. So of course, the Midwest and Great Lakes are having blizzard conditions, and it's bitterly cold there. North Dakota, Minnesota are seeing wind chills as low as negative 20 degrees outside. Now, by God, that's cold. Hey, Jimmy, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for joining. Yeah, that's definitely, I don't think you'd want to be outside long. And they're having wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. And then you drop down here to the south in the Texas. We had, it was 82 or 83 yesterday. It's 40 this morning. The wind's out of the north, 20 to 30, gusting to 45 miles an hour. So good morning, Wisconsin. How's it going, buddy? Karen Pollard just joined. Good morning, Karen, over here on YouTube. And then, you know, you get into the Ohio Valley and Northeast. Also, they are having high winds, 40 to 50 miles an hour. And they are suggesting that you keep your eye out because they may have some power outages in the Columbus and Philly area. And then, of course, the far west coast is basically calm. If you compare it to the rest of the country, sunny, partly cloudy. So, you know, typical mountain snow, but up in Oregon and stuff, but nothing really major. So really kind of the center, Midwest, and East Coast are getting hammered. Got a couple of friends that went home to see their parents up in the Wisconsin area and Michigan area, and their flights have been delayed getting back to Texas. And Wisconsin's reporting that ice there this morning. So let me know what the temp is, where you're from. Put it down in the comments. I always like to see what the weather's like. You know, I really came out here this morning expecting to need to turn all my heaters on to warm the shop, but I turned the heater on for about 15 minutes, just one of them, and then when I came out, I was like, yeah, I don't even need it as long as I'm out of the wind. So, did everybody, I hope, had a great Christmas and had time to spend with your friends and family? Do you remember Bafa? Was that the shootings? 1940, was that the shoot? Are you talking about the shootings that were in? I think they were in Australia on the beach. Is that what you're talking about? SYR 1944. Big Red, One U.S. Army. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. If you served in the Army, thank you for your service. I appreciate that too. Dusty just joined. Good morning, everybody. Karen Pollard. Hey, Karen, how you doing? So, anybody want to post what the temp is where they're at? Wake up, get you a sip of coffee. You don't even got to use the degrees. Just put the numbers in there and let me see. Hey, Kim, how's it going this morning? Good morning. Big Red says it's 76. Wow, where are you at, Big Red? Retired Army. Okay. Still, thank you for your service. Florida, the Sunshine State. Well, that ain't bad if it's 76 there. That's pretty nice. Joey Aldrich just joined. Hey, man, how Joey? 39 just north of us. Yeah, that's what I heard this morning, Kim, that some of the areas up towards the Waco area were getting down even as low as 36 in the outlying areas. Hey, Eric, I don't use coffee. I only drink energy juice. Well, guess what? You can drink your energy drink here. We don't care. That's good. Whatever it takes to get you up and going. Some of us drink coffee. Some of us don't drink coffee. Some of us drink energy drinks, hot, cold. I say you can drink whatever you like. I just appreciate that you're here. Thank you very much. Sweat. Big Red 1 U.S. Army retired to the state of Florida. Have you always lived in Florida? Jacito, good morning. I got 55 in TV for Christmas. Hey, we got him a brand new 55-inch TV for Christmas. That's pretty nice. Well, I thought Santa was pretty good to me. I had asked for a new tablet because I use it in social media. Sometimes I need my computer, a tablet, a phone to do different things. And so my wife did get me what I requested. Actually, I actually picked it out and said, this is what I'd like. And it's not the Apple product. I had an Apple iPad and I liked it fine. 17 right now, 74 yesterday. St. Louis area. Tractor Man. Yay. Hey, Tractor Man. Hey, if y'all haven't checked out Tractor Man's YouTube page, go check it out. He's got a lot of neat stuff and he makes great videos. So definitely go give him a quick follow and check out his videos. I was just watching one of them yesterday with his Kubota tractor, and he was splitting some old wood for the winter, so he keeps his shop warm. So yeah, go if you haven't seen his page on, you can give him a follow here on TikTok too. Absolutely, but go check out his long form videos on YouTube. They're really interesting. Lloyd said he had to buy his own TV. Well, it doesn't matter. You know, it's kind of the time of year we spoil ourselves or we get somebody to do it for us. It doesn't, like I said, doesn't really matter, but that's a good thing. Well, anybody else get anything they asked for Christmas? Anything special? Like I said, I got a Samsung tablet. And I didn't get the most expensive one. I got an older version. I think mine's the A9 version, but it's just fine for what I want to use it for. They do have some that are bigger. I think that the tablet I got's like a little 11-inch, 32-inch. Yeah, you know, there ain't nothing wrong with a 32-inch. I had a 32-inch TV for years. And then it finally died. I know my daughter would come in and go, God, could we get a TV? And this is only like 3 or 4 years ago. I'm a little frugal. I don't believe in just getting a new TV because you want one. I always wait till they stop working, then I buy one. So we went from a 32-inch TV to a 65-inch TV, and then my wife thought that was a little big, so she said the next time we got to get back to about a 55-inch, and I'm like, okay. Then the small TV died. There you go. You bet. Well, that's good. Like I said, I'm working on another trivia deal. We're going to do name that tune. I think hopefully, like I said, I'm putting the list together. I've got about 100 songs on the list so far, but I'd like to have 300 or 400 or 500. It just takes a while to build that list, and I just started working on it late yesterday. So, yeah, that's moving on. So did I don't know if you saw the question of the day post from yesterday. Connie Brock, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Teresa Michael 08 joined. Hey, I never know if they're joining or if they're just driving by. If you're driving by, stop and roll down the window. Stay a while. Where am I from? I am in Texas. Central Texas is where I'm broadcasting from. Lived here since 1974. Long time. Hill 813 just joined. Good morning. Nope, drive by. Okay. So we're going to do that name that tune show. I haven't decided exactly what day we're going to do it on, but I'll let everybody know because it seems that people really like to do that kind of stuff. And usually I find that it's better not to do it on a Monday. Mondays are kind of like, okay, everybody's trying to get back in the rhythm and get ready for work. We have this week, some of the last college football games are on. Texas actually plays Michigan on Wednesday at 2:00 Central Standard Time, I believe. They said 2:00, so I'm assuming that it's 2:00 Central Time, but I don't know. What's your go-to pizza topping? My go-to pizza topping. So I like a Supreme that has everything on it. No anchovies. I don't like anchovies, but everything else is game. And I prefer. I can eat pan pizza, the thicker pizza, but I prefer a thin crust pizza that jalapenos for sure. Silent Hill said, yeah, put some jalapenos on it. Yeah, the jalapenos really, you don't even need a ton because in that cooking process, that really beefs up the heat on jalapenos sometimes. My favorite. I have jalapenos on my pizza, but I like the thin crust because it kind of minimizes some of the carbs and I can eat more of it. I really love pizza. I could eat pizza probably every week, no problem. How about anybody else love pizza? Go forever. Regina, good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. Ronald Motley, good morning. Caden joined. Good morning. Hey, if you're here, if you're new here, don't forget to like, share, follow, because I'm going to do the same at the end. Donna Martin just joined. Tap on the screen, make sure that the likes are working. You can share this with your friends and family because, I'll tell you straight up, I'm here to build a community. Been doing it a few months. I have a pretty good community. I feel like over here on TikTok and my YouTube followers are really growing, and I can't thank you enough for that. I really appreciate everybody taking time out of their day to join me in the morning. Like I said, This is my last week at my current job. I was laid off in a reorganization, and being nearly 67, I do have a severance package that'll take me a few months to get to the end of that. And so for the next 6 months, I'm really going to try to focus my work attention to my social media and see if I can generate enough income that I don't need to go out and search for another job, because the few headhunters I've spoken with say at your age, it's going to be pretty tough. And I always have a fallback. I can go to work for Walmart. I'm experienced. I check myself out every time I go there. So, and they know me. So I'm sure that, I just have to talk to the manager and they'd start paying me. I could stand up by the door and work security, all that fun stuff. We have bake days in our. Oh, wow. That's pretty good. You have your own, an outdoor limestone oven. Is it wood fired? I bet it probably is, Tractor Man, because I've seen your. What is that? I'll bring a Ziploc bag full of just 5 giant jalapenos to work and eat them like a granola bar. You're tough. I can. We raised. We had probably 5 or 6 jalapeno plants in our garden this year. So we eat quite a few too, because we'll eat them with tostadas, tacos, enchiladas, just about you name it. We eat a lot of. A matter of fact, this past weekend, because my wife's family is so large, so my family is very small. I only have an aunt and a great aunt and a sister that are still with us. And on my wife's side, she had like 1, 2, 3, 4. She has 4 siblings. They all have families. Their kids have families. So her side of the family is really large. I think we hosted a Saturday night barbecue, and there was like 30 people that showed up. So we fed 30 people barbecue on Saturday night, and that was our kind of our Christmas gathering for the family. And of course, we visited the other side of the family, and of course our immediate family. We had Christmas with too, on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. But then, like I said, because there were so many on her side, I didn't decide. I was just informed that I needed to get up early and get the barbecue cooking so that it was ready for Saturday night. And that's exactly what I did. So I spent my Saturday cooking outside and straightening up a few things, getting ready for the rest of the family to show up and eat and have fun. So it was good times for everybody. Cal Cop, good morning. Hey, Chris, how's it going, buddy? But now all the family's gone. We're past the actual Christmas Day and Christmas Eve, but you do realize, and I hate to say that I did not know this, because it kind of shows my ignorance, I guess, that the 12 days of Christmas actually don't start until Christmas Day, and they go till January the 5th. And I learned that from Ed, our Lutheran minister out of Illinois, who is also, he hasn't made it on the show this morning, but that guy's busy. He'll pop in here in a little while. Yeah. And so, Thank you for the fan club deal. That's how I learned it. So yeah, they're still, we're kind of like in the middle of the 12 days of Christmas, and it actually doesn't end until next Monday. So yeah, if you're interested in that, just kind of, you can Google it and read about it. After he mentioned it, I just didn't know that, but it's a good thing to know, because one of the questions I asked on Question of the Day during the Christmas season was, do you take your Christmas tree down right after Christmas, or do you leave it up till January? We never take our Christmas tree down until after the new year. And it's usually the weekend. So it won't be this coming weekend, but maybe the following week we'll take it down. So yeah. But a lot of people, like Ed mentioned in his videos, is, Christmas starts like in November. You start seeing all the stuff. You go through all the month of November and Thanksgiving. And then, the day after Thanksgiving, boom, Christmas is on. And then you go through a whole month of December with it. By the time most people get to December the 26th, they're done. They're like, let's take this down and move on for the year. And I fully understand that. And I think you can do whatever you want to do. I just never knew that the 12 days of Christmas don't actually start till Christmas Day. So anyway, if you didn't know that, now you do. Courtesy of Ed. Thank you, Ed, for educating us on that. I appreciate it. Let's see, what else? Here we go. So I have a question for everybody. Venom just joined. Well, drove by. So here's my question to you this morning. I already told everybody about we're going to probably, I probably won't do Name That Tune game until the week of January, starting the week of January the 5th. And I would say we'll probably do it either on a Wednesday or a Thursday, because, people have kind of gotten into the week, and it seems like that those are always good days to do something like that. So, and I'm still working on it. So that'll give me time to finish that. If you have any ideas about what either a topic you want to discuss during the live, or a game you want to try to play, or anything that you would like to see covered in the live, just let me know. Send me a message on you can email me to daveshop2@gmail.com, or you can just message me in the app, whatever you're comfortable with. And then, we'll look at what we got to do to talk about it. What is Tractor Man? We rebuilt our great grandpa's oven. Wow. So that pizza oven for Tractor Man's talking about over here on TikTok was his grandpa's oven, and it was built in the 1870s. It is a wood-fired 36 by 48 cook surface. Now, wow. That's cool. That's cool, Tractor Man. So here's the question I have for you today, or at least one of them. In the comments, wake up over here on YouTube. I haven't seen anybody putting comments in. What's one lesson that you learned in 2025? One lesson that you maybe learned in 2025. And I'll go first, okay? So the lesson I learned this year, and of course, we learn lessons all the time. Hey, Joe, is that moving from working to retirement can be challenging and sometimes make you feel out of control. And so the unknown is always scary. And for me, it's just, I'm still working towards retirement, it looks like. But, like you hear everybody say, never retire to the couch, always retire to something else. And so this is kind of my something else is going to be doing social media for a while. And if I can make it work, this is what I will do in my retirement years, because it can be flexible, but it also can be a lot of work. And I've been doing it since 2019. I haven't ever done it full time and given it my 100% full attention, but yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So that was me. Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn. Andrew Warren just joined. Hey, so it's your turn. Put in the comments, what did you learn this year? Anything like, it doesn't have to be about retirement. It could be anything that you feel like you picked up or learned, or, maybe something you learned at work that you didn't know how to do that you do know how to do now. Maybe if you manage people, you learned something there. Arthur just joined. Hey, Arthur, how you going? How's it going this morning? Nothing. Everybody's still asleep. You can have a drink of coffee, tap on the screen, like, share, and follow. Subscribe over here on YouTube for sure. If you haven't subscribed, if you do subscribe and hit that notification bell, when we go live, you will be notified. On top of, I try to send out reminder videos letting you know when we're going to be live. But if you don't know, we go live Monday through Friday. We've been doing it at 5:45 a.m. But as of January the 5th, we're going to move it to 6 a.m. And it seemed like everybody was okay with that. And the live will go from 6 to 7 or so, depending on what people got going. And so you can stop in if you have to leave and go to work, fully understandable. The good thing about YouTube is that it is recorded. So if you did miss something you wanted to see or do or participate, you can always go back and watch the video. Not a new lesson. Chris Cowcop just jacked wagons. Oh, wow. He treated. Yeah, you're right. Some people are just jack wagons no matter how you treat them. You got that part right. You got that part right. Oh, okay. Simon. All right. Well, so my next question is, any 2025 reflections? I always try to take a few minutes, and it's usually on Sunday afternoon, and just kind of reflect about the week. Was it a good week? Was it a bad week? And of course, every week on this earth is a good week, even if you might think it's bad. But different things happen, and maybe you had to work on the weekend when you didn't really want to, unexpectedly, or your car broke down. I mean, things happen all the time. So, I would just tell everybody, take some time out and reflect. Sometimes it just kind of helps you unwind if you haven't. And while we're talking about reflecting on 2025, have any of you thought about what your goal for 2026 is going to be? Tyler Phillips, 849. Thank you. Yeah, I agree. Me too. So for me, my big thing for 2025, so what I would have considered not a great thing was, being laid off. That's never fun. But the good thing that happened in 2025 is I started doing lives just a few months ago, and have met a lot of great people, a lot of great support. So that's some pluses in 2025. And so, I've kind of set myself some goals for 2026. One, I'm going to spend at least 6 months working on social media full time and see where that takes me. Let me see, what else did I have down here? So anybody else got a 2026 goal that they want to share with us today? Anybody at all? You know, it's like when I think everybody does this every year, or at least they do in our family. We kind of like on New Year's Eve, you know, we'll all go around the table. We're playing some kind of board game or something, or whatever we happen to be doing. This year we're not barbecuing because we had our barbecue Saturday, but sometimes we'll have a barbecue on New Year's Eve, and we'll have family and friends stop by and just visit and have a safe place so that you're not out on the road late at night with some people that might be drinking or intoxicated. You know, this past weekend, unfortunately, from here, 2 young adults were killed on Highway 79 going back to school to Texas A&M, and they were hit head on by a 60-year-old drunk driver. So if you're out traveling on the roads, of course, up in the Northeast, travel is going to be really treacherous. I can't even imagine that you would travel at all. Hey, Casey, good morning. So if you're out in that part of the country, definitely be careful. But, you know, the holiday season, I can remember when MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, came out, and you know, it's progressed over the years, and you would think as much as is talked about drunk driving, and, you know, especially in this day and time with Uber and Lyft, and of course there's always taxi services, I guess, in some places, and your friends, you know, don't let your friends drive drunk. Don't let them drive at all if they've had any type of alcohol. They don't even have to be drunk. You might not think they're drunk, but unless you have a breathalyzer, you really don't know if they're legal or not. But because I know a lot of people that could drink a 6-pack of beer and you would never know that they were intoxicated, but legally they would be intoxicated. So yeah, don't let your friends drive drunk. And unfortunately, this weekend, that's what happened, and we lost 2 18-year-olds, a boy and a girl, that were going back to school because a 60-year-old drunk driver crossed the lane and hit them head on. And that was Christmas night, I believe, is when that happened. So we have New Year's coming up, and there's always lots of parties and alcohol. So yeah, and there's nothing wrong with going to a party, and there's nothing wrong with there being alcohol. Just be responsible and don't let anybody drive that's been drinking. Even if they're, you know, even if you don't know who they are, if they just happen to be there, try to, you know, call them an Uber, do whatever you got to do to keep them from behind the wheel. Because a lot of times when you're intoxicated, you don't make good decisions. We're going to be eating hog head cheese today. How about that? So did anybody watch the Chicago game yesterday? I didn't get to finish watching it. I'm going to have to. Can somebody tell me who won the Chicago game yesterday? I think Chicago lost, but I might be wrong. Anybody? YouTube, TikTok, anybody tell me if the Chicago Bears won or lost yesterday? That's right, Chris. So if y'all don't know, Cal Cop over here on TikTok is a retired DPS officer. He still works in law enforcement. He just retired from DPS, but that's what the DPS officers do during the holidays, and they're out working traffic and DWIs and accidents. And so anybody who's done that like Chris did and retired, has seen what devastation poor judgment and poor decisions make when you've been drinking alcohol. So if you're at a party and you see somebody, definitely don't let them drink and drive, please. We had 3 different shootouts on Christmas. Wow. Well, that's not good, Casey. Some people, I said, that's what Chris said earlier. He said, some people just act like jackrabbits. It don't matter what you do. It's sad, ain't it? So Ronnie, Ronnie over here on YouTube, where are you from if you're going to be eating hog head cheese? So my wife's grandfather was German, and he made hog head cheese. Wow, I just couldn't bring myself to eat it, but he really liked it. Of course, he raised and slaughtered all his own hogs and stuff too. 3 different shootouts. Wow. Does anybody over on TikTok, y'all ever eat hog head cheese? You know what hog head cheese is? Because Ronnie over here on YouTube said that he was going to be, nope. So I'm going to, what did I do? So let me see what it said. I've seen it before. I don't know what it's. So here's what I found on hog head cheese. It's seasoned meat jelly or terrine, and it's made by simmering a pig's head and often trotters with onions, garlic, spices, cayenne, bay leaves till the meat's tender. Once cooled, the natural collagen creates a hearty, flavorful jelly that holds the tender bits of meat together, and it's perfect slice thin on crackers. That's how I've seen it eaten with crackers and cheese. So there you go. Makes you want to get you some of that, doesn't it? My wife's grandfather made it and ate it and loved it. I didn't know. I don't like hog head cheese at all. So yeah. What's Tractor Man say? Yeah, we made it. Yeah. And now he cooks it all down for dog food. Yeah. So I mean, hog head cheese was that was not something unusual. Like you said, it is kind of regional, but it was back in the day. It was definitely something that was made and eaten. Hey, Jessica, good morning. How you doing? Thank you for joining us this morning. So there you go, the hog head cheese. So my next question to you is, what small wins did you have in 2025? What would you say that went well for you that, maybe unexpectedly, that you got accomplished? I can tell you, I'll go first again. Falls in the waste. Yeah. The waste not category. You're right, Chris. It sure does. When you grew up on a farm and everything on the farm was what was to sustain you, You used every part of every animal that you raised and slaughtered. So yeah. John, good morning. How you doing? So yeah, the small thing that I think I accomplished this year. Well, let's see here. Anybody else help me out here? Jump in anytime. Let me know. Did you gave farm cats? Did you gave farm cats? We had farm cats when I was a kid. They stayed out in the barn, took care of the rat population. Barn cats are great because you rarely see them. They don't mess with you. We used to just take cat food out to the barn or they would, a lot of times cats will even eat horse feed too. Tractor Man got 2 grandsons. Congratulations. That's a great. Oh, Casey, y'all are cooking ducks for New Year? You like duck? So I've eaten duck before, but it's kind of greasy. Not my favorite. Do you barbecue it, Casey, or how do you cook the duck? Yes, we definitely, Commander 5916 on YouTube. Yeah, we had farm cats. We had, I can't remember, but I want to say we always had 5 or 6 cats that hung around the barn. Because without them, man, even with barn cats, all our feed had to be stored in metal containers because those rats, they'd chew through a plastic trash can before you could look up to get to the feed. And you don't want rats in your horse feed or cattle or anything like that. And two, they would get up in the hay and it was nuts. Cooking them on the grill. Okay. All right. Any particular, like when you say duck, like of course, a mallard. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know exactly what duck I mean, it's not a mallard. I mean, I'm not really, I don't know much about duck hunting. I've never been duck hunting. Morning God, good morning, everybody. Morning God has joined us from the nation of the East Coast. So we're asking everybody if you had any small wins this year, any accomplishments or anything you want to let us know about, put it down in the comments. Tractor Man, he was blessed with 2 grandsons in 2025. So that's always great. What, Illinois? The other country, mowing God, Texas. Okay. Somebody gave them to you. All right. Hey, I say go for it. Like, I'm not even close to the east. Let's see here. Joe over here. Hey. Joe, that's pretty funny. That's nuts. Kevin, hey, how's it going this morning? Good morning, everybody. So just as a quick reminder, if you're new here, make sure you let me know where you're from. Don't forget to like, share, and follow. And I'll do the same at the end. Okay, so let me see. What's the best advice anybody received in 2025? Anybody think about that for a second? What what good advice did you receive from somebody, anybody, this year? I have to think on that one. Because I have so many people have given me good advice. You know, like don't pee into the wind, don't eat the yellow snow. All of those things are great advice. Don't, don't drink the toilet water, that's for sure. But seriously, good advice, best advice I got. Best advice I got in 2025. I think since I'm going first here, I think the best advice I received this year was when I had to tell my wife that that my job was ending, and she said it's going to be okay. So yeah, she was positive. She's remained positive all this time, and I guess that's why we've been married so long. Your Social Security's coming. Yes. Hallelujah. As long as they don't change. You know, my luck, so this is how my luck works sometimes. It's like with Social Security, I mean, I could just see this happening to me. That, you work all your life, you get right up to a few days away or a few months away from drawing Social Security, and they're like, dang, man, you were last in line. We ran out of money. And so you're probably not going to get that. So I hope that never happens to anybody, but sometimes I wonder, like at Christmas, here we are right at Christmas time, and what happens? The air conditioner goes out and it's $5,400 to fix it. And so, I kind of like, I wanted to cry, but I kind of laughed too. I was like, well, I mean, I guess the good thing is the fact that it went out when it was, cool outside. So since it took them 2 or 3 days to get somebody here, you wouldn't think so, but that's how long it took to get it repaired. At least we had cooler weather, and the AC system wasn't a factor. Of course, as soon as we got it fixed, it went back to 85 degrees outside, and so then we did need it. So let's see. Honestly, you kidding? Yeah, you're right. Best of us, Tractor Man. Live every day as though you won't see another sunrise. Good advice, Tractor Man 44. That is good advice. Live today and every day like you won't see another sunrise. How true. So Commander over here on YouTube says the best advice that he received was to question everything and never blindly believe in things, and never believe in things you don't know much about. And he also encourages learning. So, there you go. There's some, a piece of good advice that I received was a couple of things. One, never stop learning. And two, don't retire to the couch. Retire to something. Figure it out. You're gonna retire to something, not the couch. And thirdly, I had a retired colonel that I met where Walmart, and just happened to be standing in the pharmacy, and the guy just started up a conversation with me. And Now, I mean, where'd my train of thought go? Oh, he told me when you retire, don't watch TV at all for 6 months. And I guess that's kind of like saying don't retire to the couch because that won't be good for you. You need to retire to something, be outside. And I want to tell you, this is not the list. I have a list that's probably 3 or 4 pages of honeydew. I need you to do this. I want you to go do that. And there's stuff that I've even put on the list for things to do that, you know, a lot of times there's tons of stuff to do around if you have a home, or like Chris, you know, he has horses and barns, and I guarantee you there's more stuff to do and things that you go, oh, I need to fix that, or I need to, in my case, a lot of times it's like I need to prune my huge trees, and a lot of times it's just stuff that you just don't have time for, or keeps getting put on the back burner. And so there you go. Morning God said 2 jobs for 30 years and now I can't see the couch is not a bad spot. Well, I'm not saying that you shouldn't relax and rest. You should. You deserve it. I agree with you. You know, I've been working since I was 11. And so I think I've put the years in. You know, for me, it's just like, I'm not ready to give up the ghost yet. And I don't want to sit on the couch. I've never been much of a watching much TV or sitting on the couch. Now, I do like to watch football, and that's probably the one thing that will catch me sitting in a recliner all day sometimes if I'm watching football games. But my wife tries to manage that part of it and not let me do that. But yeah, so yeah. And you know, everybody that joins on YouTube and TikTok, I want to tell you how important it is that I have this, because this is what is keeping me going. And you know, when people ask me, and they always ask you when you're getting laid off from a job, is what are you going to do? You know, where are you going to go? Because you have those connections with people you work with. And a lot of times when you separate from a job and they go one direction and you go another direction, even though you may, sports cookie talk. Yeah. Even though you may consider yourself friends, because at work, I mean, let's face it, you spend 8-10 hours a day, a lot of times working with your coworkers, a lot of times as much time as you spend with your family. And so, hang on here. And so doing that, you know, you develop friendships, and sometimes once you separate and you all go your separate ways, you find out, or it just maybe happens naturally, that your friendship just kind of fades away. And I think that I was told by an old man one time that you only have a handful of real friends in your lifetime. So make sure that you cherish them when you do have them. But yeah, so the community that's here on TikTok and YouTube, that's definitely the positive upswing for me. And I'm not going to the couch. This is what I'm going to do, and I've pretty much made my mind up. And so you know, yesterday I made a few videos. I spent some time with the family. I think I cleaned up some stuff in the shop, but I spent a lot of time just trying to gather information of what I can do to make sure that these lives are better, that they're interesting. But you know, it really all comes down to people participating in the live. And you know, I can kind of bring up discussion topics, but if it doesn't if it doesn't have that engagement from the other end, then it doesn't matter how good you are, or terrible you are. So it really all depends on the people that join the lives and their engagement. They're the one that should get the credit, and they're the ones that make lives interesting and make other people want to watch. What's Casey say? I'll see if I can see. Yeah, it's under Dave's shop on YouTube too. So yeah, it's out there. Let's see, what else did I have I want to talk about? Oh, okay. So okay, so here we go. Let's see if everybody's listening and can participate. I want everybody to post a emoji that kind of best represents your current mood for the last Monday in 2025. Post an emoji in the comments. Hey Ed, how you doing? Good morning. So same thing for YouTube. Post an emoji that best represents how you feel this last Monday of 2025. Just crawling out of Ed, that is okay. It's good to sleep in sometimes. With the Christmas holiday, I mean, Ed's swamped busy. I don't know how he gets everything done, but he deserves a little break too. And if he sleeps in on Monday morning, well, that's just fine. I'm glad you were able to sleep in. I had an unusual night of insomnia. I might have slept 2 hours because I was working on social media stuff and thinking, I was actually, I don't know why I do this. Sometimes I run across different things, and somebody sent me a text message saying, hey, you need to check out this guy. He's doing thank you for the fan club. He's doing a talk about AI and how you should ask questions to get what you want from AI. So I don't know if any of you ever use AI or not, but one of the things that I picked up right away is when you're asking, a lot of people say, ask AI, write me an email, or, something really basic. And when you do that, you get really basic answers. And so what the guy was talking about is you have to, one, you're training AI every time you use it. So you're right, Tractor Man. I think 2025 went by like a speed of light. That's for sure. But anyway, when you're using AI, you have to give it a little more information. And the key thing that I think that they were pointing out was, like, for instance, I typed in AI. I want you to give me. I can't even remember what I asked them to give me, but I said, before I even asked them what I wanted, I told AI, I want you to give me an answer as if you were a 25-year professional marketing guru. And then I asked the question. And Lord of mercy, the answer I got was 3 pages. I mean, detailed. So that was the one thing I learned in that short, it was probably a 20-minute AI course. And then the other thing, and you will start to see this on my videos and the live, one of the things that I've kind of been struggling with is my channel name. It just says Dave Shop, and it might be misleading because it's not just, I don't post stuff just about stuff that I do in the shop. It's not always about tools. It's not always about a how-to project. And speaking of how-to projects, anybody got plans, or, I mean, I have an idea, but if anybody happened to have a set of plans to build a small cabinet with wheels for a miter saw, let me know. I mean, I've seen a lot of them out there, and I have a good idea what I think I'm going to do, but you never know when somebody might have a drawing or, you know, detailed cut list or anything like that to build one of those. So if you do, share it with me. And if I figure one out, well, I'll definitely share it with you. But anyway, so that's what I learned about AI. Let me see what Ed's awake, and he's got some coffee now. He says he's used AI to search the internet for theologians and have said about specific Bible tests. That's good. So, you know, a lot of people want to, and me included, there's certain things about AI I'm not really crazy about. I'm not crazy about AI taking jobs. And, you know, unfortunately, the jobs they're going to take first are entry-level jobs, which is really not good because we need entry-level jobs. We have tons of people coming out of high schools that can't afford to go to college. Maybe they do or do not want to be, you know, a carpenter, electrician, or a plumber, or a mechanic. You know, I don't know. But entry-level jobs are something I think that the workforce needs, because that's where people start. And that's where people find themselves a lot of times, is that, you know, I just don't know very many 18-year-old kids that come out of high school and know exactly what they want to do for the rest of their life to make a living. You know, I cannot tell you, maybe other than one job, the one job I thought I would be doing and I would have retired would have been in law enforcement. And it just didn't work out for me. I gave it a shot, and, you know, got hurt, and then it scared my wife, and she just basically said, if we're going to stay married, you're not going to work in law enforcement, because I can't deal with that. And so, so that was the end of that, guys. And so, you know, I just think entry-level jobs are really important. And so I don't like that part of AI. However, it's just like, if you look at AI like a tool and you don't misuse it, and, you know, I think that, you know, there could be some good things from it. And it's kind of like when they came out with the home computer. You know, everybody thought, oh my God, it's the end of the world. We're going to have computers. They're going to take over. And, you know, they are out there, and they've created probably more jobs than they ever eliminated. So hopefully AI does the same thing, and hopefully we don't let that get out of hand and do bad stuff with it. I'm out at one on a Craftsman lower toolbox cabinet. Ready-made drawers. That's pretty good, Tractor Man 44. So, like, you know, one of the things I've learned in the shop, for me, especially, I've got two bad knees, but I've got one that's really bad and needs to be replaced. But the surgeons say, wait until you absolutely cannot walk on it, and then we'll do the surgery. So that's fine. I'm not really standing in line wanting to get surgery. That said, I always put everything on wheels, casters, so that I can stand up, or I've got a little tractor stool that I sit on here that a family friend gave me from Tractor Supply, that when they gave it to me, I thought, what am I going to use that for? But I use it every day when I'm out here. I sit on it, and it works out perfect, and it's adjustable. You can raise it or lower it. So that's worked out good. But yeah, putting all my work tables on, everything is on casters. And then my other shop out there, because it's limited space, and a lot of times I have to, especially like if I'm running the table saw and a miter saw and I'm cutting, and it's just easier and cleaner to bring everything out onto, I have a concrete patio that's probably, I don't know, 12 by 12 in front of the shop. And so I can bring stuff out there, and it just makes the cleanup a lot easier. And plus, even if you have a dust extractor and you're in a shop and you start doing a lot of cutting, man, that sawdust gets on everything. And I mean everything. And a lot of people don't realize, I have a mask and I do wear it, but there are a lot of times I'm in a hurry and I forget to put it on. And so can you imagine that you're breathing in all that sawdust at the same time? So what I've tried to start doing is just taking it outside. And in the summertime, I have one of those pop-up canopies. I'll put that up just to keep the sun off the back of my neck if I'm doing a lot of cutting or a project or something. So yeah, so that's what I do, and that's why I put everything on casters. And I have my chop saw on a stand now, but I think what I want to do is take it off that stand because it takes up a lot of room in the shop, and fold the stand up and store it, and then just take it out and set it up when I need it. So that was one of the things. And then I'd seen some videos on building a miter saw stand that was like, maybe 30 inches deep by 30. So that wouldn't take up much room in your shop. And it had side pieces that folded down. So it didn't take up a lot of room, but you could pop them up like wings. So when you were cutting a long piece of lumber, you had that support. So I'm still looking at that model, but I hadn't decided yet exactly what I want to do on that. Well, thanks, Ed. Back at you. You have a part of your customers. Yeah, you do. You sure do, my God. You figure you were out mowing that grass and all that pollen and stuff you're stirring up doing that. I can definitely see that. I also want to read, what did Ed say? I have a limited library in my office. AI scrubs the internet for a reason. I agree. So there's, I've seen coders, a lot of people that, of course, that's not my thing. I don't like coding, but coders will use AI to find errors in they'll copy their code and put it in AI and ask AI to find any errors, and it will. And then they also use AI just like we use Google. You can ask all kinds of questions. You just need to know that AI, their answers are not, unless, so if you have a paid version of GPT chat, Gemini, Microsoft's, I can't remember what they call their version, Copilot, any of those, and I'm sure there's going to be in the future even more AI's software out there. Just if you have a paid version of GPT chat or Gemini, you're going to get more detailed answers, and the answers you get are going to be a lot more correct than if you're using the free version. Currently, I only use free versions because, kind of what I'm using it for, I always take it with a grain of salt. It's kind of like when you go out on YouTube and say, hey, the toilet's overflowing, I want to know how to fix it. Well, do you just watch one video of one guy saying, well, you fix it like this, or do you try to watch 2 or 3 videos so that you kind of get a full picture about, oh, that guy didn't say do X and this guy didn't say do Y, but if I, gather all that information together, then I can probably resolve the issue. And I know we all like working on leaking toilets. But if you ever have a question and your toilet's leaking, feel free to ask me. I fixed a bunch of them. And they're really a lot more simple than you think. Don't call a plumber out and get duped for $500. So thank you, Ed. Ed said that I was an inspiration to him to keep moving and active, and that's why I said back at you, Ed, because yeah. Mason, okay, 7:02. Did I have any? I don't think anybody ever posted an emoji. Nobody posted any emojis today. Maybe we're past that. Do you think? What do you think? Oh, you did? Maybe I just missed it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see Ed. Ed posted some emojis. Yes, he did. No emojis over here on YouTube? Come on. Well, Commander did. He put a heart, so that means I guess he was being thankful. I thought maybe I'd get some really funny emojis. That was funny. Okay, so one last thing here, because it's 7:02 and this is the last week of work. I'm going to be in the office Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. So we're going to do morning coffee talk this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And of course, Thursday and Friday, we're going to not do it on those 2 days. One, it's New Year's Day. And then that Friday is my last day in the office. And so I want to get that done on Friday, and I've got a lot to finish up, and then I have to pack up all my stuff and get it out of the office on Friday. So, yeah, so that was my plan. And then, we'll be back on January the 5th, starting January the 5th. We're going to start at 6 a.m. This week we'll continue the 5:45 start. January the 5th, we will, start 6 a.m. And, one of the things I started to talk about earlier that I picked up on AI, the training, and listening to that guy. And I saved his info, so I'm going to go back and see what else he has to share. But one of the things that I've been struggling with is my channel name saying, Dave Shop. Well, anybody that's been around any kind of marketing or heard other creators, if you're trying to create a brand, you need to link it to a person and not just an icon, like Dave Shop. And Dave Shop's indicates that, do I have an automotive shop? What kind of shop is that? And so one of the things that it said to do is to, and you may have seen it on the TikTok, it's like morning coffee talk morning coffee talk with Dave, and a question of the day with Dave. That was the suggestion, and it's kind of a 3-step process. And then that way you're not changing the channel name, but you're associating me with that channel. And so yeah, I'm going to take that piece of advice and see how it does. So if you see that, when I saw that, I thought, well, that's kind of weird, but maybe not, because I see other channels and they don't have here's an example. This is a guy that I watch all the time on YouTube, Think Media, and it's the guy's name's Sean Cannell, I think. And so, it has Think Media and his name too. So a lot of people associate Think Media with Sean Cannell. So that's what I'm working towards with Dave Shop. Well, it is 7:06. Thank you, everybody, for joining me this morning. I want to do one quick thing. Let's do Would You Rather real quick. Would you rather? Would you rather have a personal chef or a housekeeper? Put your answer in the comments. Would you rather have a personal chef, that might be pretty good, or a housekeeper? I think for me, I would like to have a personal chef. Thank you. Yes, absolutely, Jessica. Tractor Man says housekeeper. Okay. I like to cook too. Housekeeper. I don't mind doing, you know, I think I did 3 loads of laundry yesterday. I don't find house chores really that big a deal. I can get up and knock that out in the first 2 hours of the day, most of the time. And I do like to cook, but you know, it's the cleanup that I hate to do. And my wife won't let me cook by myself because she says I make too big of a mess. So usually, if I'm cooking, she's like right behind me cleaning. And I've gotten better over the years about clean, you know, as I go, because it does make the cleanup at the end a lot quicker. But in our house, you know, of course, I live with 4 women, so I don't just assume that the women are going to clean the kitchen, even though they do most of the time. I do. I'll do. I'll wash. I'll do the washing of the dishes, and or I'll dry the dishes and put them up, or you know, I'll let them do the rest of it. Because if I do it, then I'll just be criticized that I didn't do it, or I missed a spot, or you know, one of those things. It's about it. It's cheese. Well, there you go. If you're not a picky eater, and yeah, I'm not either. But you know, one of the things that we do is we make a menu, and we get everybody's input every week, and we create a menu, and we from that menu is what we create the grocery list with, and then we buy what we need to make sure we have everything for whatever we have on the menu that week. And we started doing that probably maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and it's just kind of stuck, and it really helps. You know, can you imagine going to the grocery store and you don't have a clue what you're going to cook to eat? So where do you even start with what you're going to buy? So if you have a menu, that's the way to go. And I know a lot of people that, you know, they go to the grocery store 2 or 3 times a week. I don't have time for that. The grocery store gets me once a week, and I got to have a list. And I don't mind going to the grocery store. I just need help. I just need the list. You give me the list, I'll go get it. I don't mind doing that. So anyway, well, guys, it's Monday. I got to get to the office, catch up on some paperwork and some stuff that got set aside for the weekend. And I will see you all back here tomorrow at 5:45. Y'all have a great day. Go do something kind today. And I like what Tractor Man 44 said. Live today like you won't see the sunrise tomorrow. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you back here in the morning. Thanks.